This tutorial video is on finding the length of the hypotenuse using the Pythagoras theorem, which you can see at the top here. So we can use this Pythagoras theorem to find any of the sides if we have two of the others, but we're just going to focus on the hypotenuse, which of course is always opposite a right angle in a triangle. So it's the longest side as well. So this equation is that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, c squared, or c being the hypotenuse, a and b being the other sides, and it doesn't really matter how you label those. So if we have a look at this triangle here, let's call a 6 and b 8, we end up with 36 plus 64. I had to think on that for a little bit. Actually, we're still at c squared equals 100, and of course the opposite of squaring is applying a square root to both sides, so c equals the square root of 100, which is just 10. So in this case, c, the hypotenuse, is 10. Again, longest side, so that is longer than 6 and 8, so looks like we're on the right track there. So here we've got 3 and 4 as our sides. Doesn't matter which way we go, but I'm just going to go with 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is 9 plus 16. Which is the same as the square root of those values added together, 25, which is just 5. A couple more here, so c squared equals 1 squared plus 2 squared. C squared equals 1 plus 4. C squared equals 5, meaning that c equals the square root of 5. And that's a perfectly acceptable answer. We can leave it as a surd. We'd obviously want to simplify any surds, but can leave that one as a surd. Bit trickier, this one. In fact, we've got some labeling issues on this. Alright, slight change to that question. Had this as the hypotenuse, but we've got that as the other side length. Again, same kind of thing. We're just putting these values into our formula. So here it's going to be 2 square root 2 squared plus the square root of 3 squared. This is where it gets a little tricky. Here, we need to square both of these values. So, the square root of 2 is 4, and 2 squared is 4. The square root of 2 squared is 2. The square root of 3 squared is just 3. So now we've got 8 plus 3, which of course is the same as 11. So c equals the square root of 11. And we can leave that answer just like that. Pretty straightforward though. So that's finding the hypotenuse length. In the next lesson we'll look at finding all sides using the Pythagoras theorem at the top here.